Hey guys, we're back. This time we're taking a look at the Red Dragon Inn Allies dual character pack for Ohava and Murgath. I think I'm saying those right. And these are interesting ones now because they include one hero basically and one villain. And these guys have some really interesting mechanics between the two of them. I really like Murgath. Ohava is a holy cleric of sorts, and he has these different spirits that he prays to, and you get bonuses for having them all in alignment. Murgath is an evil guy who has a blessed sword, so every time he tries to do evil things, it basically counterdicts him. And we're going to get right in and take a look at these guys. So first thing we have is our little rules flyer, and the first page is on Ohava. Talks about the great divines that he has and the symbols that pertain to each of them. If you can manage to get 3 or more of them in harmony, his hand size increased by 1. And if you can get all 4 of them, all the numerical values on his cards are increased by 1, which is awesome. And then there's things in here. When you cast a card that has one of these abilities or these symbols in the corner, you flip that deity card, and they're basically going to keep flipping back and forth throughout the course of the game. Then we get into Murgath and his blessings. And every time he uses his holy sword, basically, you're going to distribute one of these blessings to the player. And then the blessing cards here have a subtype at the top, so they can be played as those. They're either sometimes, anytimes, or action. Instead of doing whatever's at the bottom here, they can choose to use them as an anytime card to heal for the little heart amount up here in the corner. And then there's some other various rules on the back for him. A couple of card-specific notes down there, kind of like an FAQ type thing. And then the prize variant, which is a new card type that was introduced a couple sets ago. And there's one of them in this set, which is why that's on there. So we have our new player boards for each of the new characters. Their matching artwork. These are to match the ones from the Red Dragon Inn 5 character trove. They have little spaces for your different piles at the bottom. And then in Ohava's case here, his deity cards go up on the top. I love the artwork on Murgath. We have new deck dividers to go in the character trove. And they have their own symbol for this set. And little fluff stories on the back. And we have our decks here. It does come with enough of the tokens, gold coins, to add these characters to your game. The allies always came with these smaller tokens. I prefer the larger ones that come with the bigger box sets of the game, or we have metal ones now. And then you have your alcohol and fortitude tokens somewhere in there. There's an alcohol one that match the newer ones of those. So first off here, we're going to look at Ohava the Grand Cleric, and setting that aside, we have our 4 deity cards. On one side they're black and white basically, on the other side they're full stained glass. The artwork on these is just great. I love how bright and colorful they are. And you're going to have these set out in front of you and throughout the course of the game. As you play cards with the various symbols on them, you're going to flip these over. So they're constantly going to be getting flipped back and forth left and right on these. And the idea is to get them all color side up to get the best bonuses. Onto his actual deck. As with all characters, you've got a large helping, probably a third if not a half of the deck is your basic gambling cards, although you should take note that all of his cards have these symbols in the bottom corner, and those are what are going to flip over your deity cards. Now you're trying to get them all face up, but sometimes, so say you want to play the gambling I'm in card to start a round of gambling or to take control, it's going to make the Farnier, I think his name is, the green god there, turn. But then later on you want to take control of gambling or raise, so you throw this one out, that's going to flip it over again. So you have to kind of think and choose ahead what you're going to be doing, because you don't want to flip them over again after you just set it up the way you want it. So it takes a little bit of planning to play out what you want to do and get the cards in the right order. As I said, having 3 of those cards face up gets you the extra draw. 4 of them face up adds 1 to all of these numerical values on your cards down here. Definitely worth keeping into. It's a very interesting character and takes a little bit of strategy to get the hang of. Next we look at Murgath the Blessed here. He's a human blackguard. And guy's just having a poor bad day with his stupid blessed sword. And does have some cards in here like this to allow him to negate one of the blessings, which is nice. But a lot of his cards end up giving people blessings. You also get one here. Target player loses 3 fortitude. If a person loses fortitude, they get a blessing. Things like that. So he's basically handing out these blessings to all the various players at the table. And then you have the basic cards in the back here. And just makes a very interesting play style to keep in mind how many of these blessings you're passing out. And this blessing deck here goes with it. These are the cards you're actually going to be giving to the various people. And that's the one they actually use in the example in the rule book. So you give this to somebody as a blessing. It counts as a sometimes card. And they can reduce the alcohol content of a drink they're about to drink by 2. If you reduce it below 0, it just goes to 0, but they get to look at the drink first. So as an anytime, or as a sometimes card, whenever they're about to take a drink, they can reveal this, reduce that alcohol content by 2. Otherwise, they can spend the play it as a anytime card to regenerate 1 fortitude, and they all do different things. Not all of them have the heart in the corner, so not all of them can be used in that way, and they all do just various interesting things. And there are a couple in here that don't have any effect. It's the Blessing of Health. You can only use it to get the health, obviously. But very interesting, cool mechanic. To see an evil character passing these out is just entertaining. And of course, we can't forget that Murgath is a villain. And as with all the other villains, he has this deck with the little dragon icons in the corner. And these are added to his deck if you're using him in the boss mode to basically make him stronger for that one versus many format. So he actually has a second deck of cards to boost his strength up in those that game type to make him a little more formidable. And then finally here we have our prize card. There's a prize variant, which is a new addition to the rules. It allows you to get something a little more out of gambling than just gold. In this case we have the rose-colored glasses. The next time you draw 1 or more cards from your deck, draw 3 additional cards. Then you put this card back in the prize bin. Once all the cards that are in active use have been gone to the prize bin, you re-put them back out, and they basically become rewards for winning gambling. The specific rules for those are on the back of the card as well as in our rules flyer there. So that's a look at everything that comes in the Red Dragon and Allies Ohava versus Murgath deck. I like both of these characters. I really like Murgath and his passing out the blessings. He's a very powerful character. He does a lot of damage with a lot of very interesting cards, but at the same time, you're constantly giving out those blessings, which negate some of the damage you've done, as they can always be used to heal, if not the various other effects as well. So it balances out his power with the fact that he has that hindrance. Love the fact that he can be used in the boss mode as well. The Cleric Ohava is a really nice character. I love the artwork on those cards. They're just great, bright, colorful. They pop. People see them at the table and kind of walk by and stop, especially if they don't know about the character. He's a new one, so, well, newish. And definitely both entertaining, fun characters. And I need to get more games in with both. I've only actually played Murgath so far, but I've played against Ohava. So, anyway, that's going to wrap it up for our look at the Red Dragon and Allies expansion. Ohava versus Murgath. Hope you enjoyed the video. As always, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.